Welcome back. In Nigeria, children are usually spanked or whipped for getting out of line, right? And because proper discipline is essential for proper raising children. Nowadays, however, there is a divide in opinion on the issue of using the cane to discipline children. Some experts believe that spanking is an ineffective deterrent and that today's smack may be tomorrow's punch, while others feel the cane is the only language children understand. Even the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. Should parents spank their children? It's your view. Let it count. You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can tweet to us at YourViewTVC. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this. So, let me see. Let me start with do you spank your children?
Of course I do.
Why would you do that?
I spank them because, you see, there's something that we're taught. Spank your children when you're not angry. It's a corrective measure.
Oh, really?
Some children, you need to spank them. It's not all the time a child you want to sit down. Sometimes I sit down and I listen to what they have to say and I correct them with words. But it is inevitable. You have to spank to put some senses into their head sometimes. I
know some people who don't spank their children, and their children are perfectly...
Who are they? Please give me examples.
I know a few families that don't spank their children, and the kids have turned out really good. Yes.
So? I'll tell you the advantage of that. Spanking is the easy way out. Somebody is doing something, you just spank and move on. Because to talk to them takes a longer time. We don't have that time. You know, I don't believe in spanking.
Me too.
Now, you need to... maybe at a certain age when they don't understand words, you're speaking the words in explanation while you're hitting them on the palm to say, don't do that. For instance, the child is going near fire. He's not, don't go there. You know?
Yeah.
But when they're able to understand words, you speak to them, explain to them. Spanking might then be at a few times when I've spoken over and over, when I then spank, you understand the importance of why I'm spanking you.
After talking over and over, you then discipline in a different way, where either you go to your room or you put them on. I mean, this is you will behavior timeout, but you see, it works.
Come back to Nigeria. Let's even use Nigeria.
Let's even use Nigeria. Because right now, my baby is 2 years old, and I was saying that, telling my husband that I need to get her room ready. And he doesn't understand why I need to get her room ready. He said, no, let her stay in our room. I'm like, no, she has to go. Not because I really want her to go, but it's more about I want her to start getting that independence. I know that whenever punishment, you stay in your room. You're not going to talk to anybody. You know, there are ways of punishing you, or you're going to sweep your room, clean your room, you know. Just make
that's supposed to be punishment.
That's punishment.
It's not punishment. Sweeping and cleaning room is not punishment. That is part of growing up of a child.
Yes.
That is not punishment.
I get that part. I get that point. The point I'm trying to make is that you use those as tools to let her know when she goes wrong.
That is totally wrong. You shouldn't use those as tools. Yesterday evening, I was so tired. I told my son, go to the kitchen, go and help me clear those dishes. Whether he was feeling like it or he wasn't feeling like it, that is not punishment. That is part of his duty. That's part of growing up.
You made that point.
Listen, like I said before, when you want to spank your child, you spank your child not in anger, but you need to understand. I don't just beat my children like that and say go. No. When I beat you, I will tell you the reason why I beat you. Then tomorrow you will not repeat it again. You will not tell me that you keep on talking and talking. It will not work.
Let me hear your thoughts on this.
For this,
well, I absolutely do not agree with you, because I know when you beat, I'm a huge believer in punishment. I live with my nephews and my cousins. I don't beat them, but I would punish them in such a way that when they do the same thing and they see me, they would start running. And partly the reason why I associate so well with them is because I don't beat them. Because when you beat a child, you never know. Let's say, okay, you say you don't beat them with anger and all that. Tomorrow you never know what happens and you just hit them. And when you hit them, it brings about this inner anger and resentment. There are things they could talk to you about and they cannot. Why? Because they fear that you beat them. So gradually that fear starts building up. I can't really talk to mommy about this.
You're right. You're very right, Sands. Let me talk to Razak though. Good morning, Razak. Are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Thanks, Razak. Yes.
Good morning.
We can hear you.
Okay, please. Intentional to contribute to what you have discussed in the house. You see, we are in Africa, so we have to teach our children the way of our father taught us.
Which is
how
what?
You are in Africa, that you say you want to teach your child in British Europe. But I tell you, because these children need a very thoroughly treating in a good manner if you said you wanted to treat them in a British way, definitely you are leading them to another thing entirely. Treat them in a Bible way, in a Quran way. That is the way of good things you have to treat your children.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Very much. But you know something about Nigerian children? Nigerian children are very timid. They don't have that confidence.
Can I use myself as an example?
I'll let you, but I want people to understand the two different kinds of children we're having here. A child whose parents, you're always beating them up. They lack that confidence. That's why somebody grows up and they feel like
lack of self-esteem.
They can't feel as if, oh, you're inadequate.
When they see that, they run away.
Yes.
They can't talk to you. Let me use myself as a personal example. My house, we're beating well. When my mother is upset with you, you are in trouble. My brother, he still grew up doing the things he wanted to do. Now, why I'm saying that talk to children, when I grew up being beaten, the things that I did that got me beaten, I knew what I was doing. Maybe it was wrong. It was a personal decision that I was making. I was very intelligent. Now, my father would appeal to my sense of reasoning by talking. My mother didn't understand that way. She would bring a cane and flog you. I just hated her. Why would you hit me so bad? I became rebellious. So I don't want to teach my own children like that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Another thing is, with time, they actually grow out of that pain. They're like, hey, if I do what will happen, they beat me, and then I move on.
All right, let me talk to Tosin. Good morning, Tosin. Are you there?
Hello.
Morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Tosin calling from Anthony.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everybody. I totally agree with Owa, what she's saying. The problem there is that you don't have to beat your children much. You have to explain to them that this thing you are doing is wrong. Not that you beat them always, but at least tell them that this thing you are doing is wrong. Children, they are so fragile. Anything you tell them, they listen. But at times they misbehave. So you tell them that this thing you are doing is totally wrong. In schools, their teachers beat them. So you don't see the way their teachers beat them, and they listen to what their teachers say. So you follow what they are saying. You train them with beating, and not by beating them always, but beat them once in a while, so that they know what they did is wrong. That is my contribution.
All right.
You know, she said something.
1 second.
Okay.
Yes, it was right.
Now, you see, when you want to spank your child as a form of correcting the child, it should be done with wisdom. I'm not saying that we should do the things the way our parents used to do it, that turned to rebellion. So when your child does something, there was a day my son did something. This is somebody that is extremely obedient. He does not, if you want to get this thing, go and ask my first son. Anything you want, he will get it done for you. Aww. But even in that his calmness, in that is everything, there are still some days that is off. When the father spanked him, I went back that night to his bedroom. I sat him down on the bed. And I told him, do you know the reason why you were being spanked? We sat down, we now talked. Ever since that day, he did not repeat that thing again. Now, you cannot tell me that no matter how responsible your child is, there is a time that you need to pick up that rod. If not, you're going to spoil that child, whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not. I am trying to raise champions for tomorrow. I don't want a situation where tomorrow it will not be that, oh, yes, there are some times that some things are meant for talking. Mariah, some things are not meant for talking. By the time you finish beating the person, you now sit him down and you now tell him why.
Okay, I might buy your idea a little, but then there's a point she made right now about beating in schools.
They don't beat anymore in school.
They still beat in schools.
No, they don't.
They still beat in schools.
Are
you kidding me?
Most
maybe
schools don't beat anymore. Now, I'm just trying to tell you what is obtainable now.
For them to even be adopting that.
Because a teacher was sent off the school because she sent a child to a naughty corner. Now tell me, what kind of children are we raising, for goodness sake?
Naughty corner.
Because of naughty corner, she didn't beat the child and she was relieved of her job. We must understand. See all the children in the UK. My friends that relocated to the UK recently. They said it's as if there was a spirit. If you see what my sister's son did to me when we traveled, it was as if I should carry him and,
but spanking is not going to fix that. How would you spank? How makes you spanking will fix that? Spanking doesn't necessarily have to fix that. It's how you talk to your children from scratch. That's how they now respect you, and whatever you say, it holds.
You are just lucky to have somebody that.
No,
there are some children
I think I have George. I have George on the phone.
I
good morning,
believe
George.
in punishment.
Are you there, George?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, on this topic, I'm always in agreement with Jumoke's sound reasoning. You see, if a parent must first of all check himself on the reason why he's beating the child. Before beating the child itself, if you check, in most cases, the parent himself or herself is guilty of that same offense if you check it thoroughly. Understanding is what the child needs more than beating. And beating should come in only, just like the Moke said, at that time when the child was not able to take instructions or not in a position to be able to understand. Once the child gets to the point where he can understand the parent, that is where understanding should come in. You must create a method for the child to understand you, not beating. Beating brings fear, and fear is not the same thing with respect.
God will bless you.
Thank you very much.
I totally agree. Beating
does not bring fear.
It does.
It doesn't. You're not getting the point. Listen,
I was beaten.
Hold on.
I didn't like my mother. I used to run away from her. I feared her.
Your mother did not beat you properly. That is the thing.
How should she
beating does not bring fear. If you beat a child, like I said, if your mother was angry and she picked up a cane and she was beating you, of course you would know that she was beating you out of anger. But if you spank a child, sit down there, and you refuse to sit down, and I give you 3 strokes of the cane, and I tell you that these 3 strokes of the cane you received is because you did not sit down. It's a different thing from beating you and beating you and beating you because you are angry. No. I totally disagree.
You do understand that there are a lot of people who do this beating without wisdom. You probably have the wisdom to do it.
That is why I'm saying that you need to
every
teach
time
them
in the
wisdom.
news we hear about parents who are beating their children to death, who are doing this and who are doing that. It is starting a day. They probably start beating them down, and then gradually go into an abuse.
Let me take my last call, Tonya, but I think I'm seeing where it's coming from. Let's talk to Tonya. Good morning, Tonya.
Beating did not change my brother.
Yeah, this is Tonya. Hello?
Yes.
Hello, this is Tonya from
Go ahead.
Ibadan.
Yes, welcome.
I'm totally in support with Uwa. Beating, actually, yes, is bad. You don't beat in anger. But there's no way you will not raise that rod on a child the day he happens to go off.
Thank you.
Now, that word, even the Bible says, spare the rod, then you spoil the child. So at the end of the day, let's wait. Let's say, okay, about 4 years and above, there's this understanding already. Now the rod will come in at the right time. So saying something about go to your room, sit on the naughty chair, I don't think it counts. Because remember, we're in Nigeria. It's not everyone that has a spare room for a child. And say, oh, my baby has his baby room, so whenever he misbehaves, go to your room, sort your books, put them in the shelf, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. We don't do that when you are raising up children. There is no way that word will not count. It might not start at the beginning. That is why I said from age 1 or 0 to 5.
Thanks, Tonya.
You know,
thank you very much,
you
Tonya.
could say yes, understanding, but afterwards,
at some point.
Okay.
All right. I think what makes sense from what we all talked about is that from Jumoke's experience, obviously, even I have very similar experience with you also in some, though they didn't beat me all the way.
They didn't beat me. They beat my senior ones. I learned from them.
But you see, I know my siblings who got beat almost every day, and compared to me, and I know how we both turned out differently. I didn't get spanked. I only got spanked once by my dad, and I know that I have more confidence in myself.
Yeah.
The person I'm talking about, had issues, a lot of issues growing up, self-esteem problems,
a
lot of even till tomorrow. Yeah, but the thing is that, but from what U has said, let's not do it the way our parents did it, which is what the experience we all had.
Yes.
Let's do it with wisdom. Lord. You don't just hit and hit.
You
do it with
why you are doing it.
So let's
don't do it in anger.
So let me just quickly say one thing. I know someone that when you send the child to the naughty corner, he will look for the wall and start playing with the wall. It doesn't work that way. You need to understand every child. Some children need you to give them 3 strokes of the cane. Say, okay, yes, this is why I'm giving you 3 strokes.
We don't hear Oluwa. All right, thank you. We have no tweets. I guess we didn't get any tweets, but when we come back, we're going to go into marriage. Which is more important, traditional or court? Stay with us. We'll be right back.